The classroom was thick with an almost tangible tension. The walls seemed to absorb the weight of the moment, the air crackling with unspoken fears. The usual buzz of conversation was replaced by a heavy silence that felt endless. I scanned the faces of my students, their innocence stark against the darkness that had invaded my life. Each face was a canvas of pure dreams and silent hopes, a painful reminder of my own loss. Their eyes, wide and curious, held endless possibilities, a world that had been cruelly taken from me. They were blissfully unaware of the confession about to be made. Oblivious to the storm brewing beneath the surface, they sat there, shielded by their innocence, which I was about to shatter with my words. This was no ordinary class. The blackboard, usually filled with lessons, now stood as a silent witness to the drama about to unfold. The desks, symbols of learning, now felt like barriers between me and the truth I was about to reveal. This was my farewell, my final act of retribution. Closing the door behind me felt like sealing a chapter of my life filled with pain and betrayal. It wasn't just a goodbye to my students, it was a farewell to the person I once was, forever changed by fate's cruelty.
Today I want to share a story. A story that is not just mine, but one that touches all of us. It's a tale of love and loss, hope and despair, light and darkness. It's a story that will change how you see the world, and perhaps, how you see yourselves.
Their eyes widened with curiosity, eager for the story. They leaned forward, fully engaged, unaware of the emotional journey ahead. The room seemed to close in, the walls pressing as the weight of my words began to form. Little did they know, this wasn't a story from their textbooks. This was a narrative written in sorrow and pain, a chapter torn from my life. The dusty books held knowledge, but none could prepare them for the truth I was about to reveal. This was a confession born from the ruins of my shattered world. A world turned upside down, leaving me to piece together the chaos. The red light felt like a spotlight, illuminating the darkest corners of my soul. A confession that would reveal the chilling truth behind my daughter's death. My daughter, Manami. Her name, once a melody of joy, now a haunting refrain in my mind. The photograph in my hand was a relic of happier times, now a distant dream. The light of my life brutally extinguished. Her laughter, once a symphony of happiness, now a ghostly whisper. The toys she left behind were silent witnesses to a life cut short, painful reminders of what could have been. The memory of her laughter, her joy, now a haunting echo in my heart's desolate landscape. The swing, moving in the wind, symbolized the life that once was, filled with promise. Now it was a stark reminder of the void left behind. They say time heals all wounds, but how can time mend a mother's broken heart? The clock, its hands frozen, mocked the passage of time. Each tick reminded me of moments lost, memories forever incomplete.
This story is about betrayal. A betrayal so deep it cuts to the core. It's about shattered trust, broken promises, and lost innocence. It's a tale that will make you question everything you thought you knew about those around you. About the darkness that can reside in the most unexpected places. The shadows lurking in our lives, waiting to pounce. It's a reminder that even in the brightest places, darkness can creep in, changing everything in its path.
They say there are stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Each stage is a world unto itself, a universe of pain and sorrow that one must navigate alone. Denial is the first, a shield against the unbearable truth. Anger follows, a fiery storm that consumes everything in its path. Bargaining is the desperate plea for a different reality, a futile attempt to rewrite the past. Depression is the abyss, a dark void where hope is but a distant memory. Acceptance, they say, is the final stage, the light at the end of the tunnel. But for some, acceptance never comes. I had traversed them all. Each step a torturous descent into the abyss of my despair. The streets were empty, mirroring the void within me. The house, once filled with laughter and light, now a dimly lit tomb. Each room a reminder of what I had lost, each step a journey deeper into my own personal hell. But within the depths of my sorrow, a new emotion took root: revenge. It started as a whisper, a faint echo in the back of my mind. But it grew, fed by my pain and anger, until it was a roar, a burning need that consumed me. Revenge became my purpose, my reason to keep going when all else had failed.
Your classmates, they took something precious from me. They took my Manami. They thought it was a game, a harmless prank, but it was far from harmless. It was a crime, a monstrous act that stole the light from my life.
Their faces, once filled with childish wonder, now haunt my dreams. I remember the days when they played together, their laughter echoing through the park. Those were the days of innocence, days that now seem like a distant memory, now contorted with confusion and fear. The same faces that once smiled at me now looked at me with terror. They knew what they had done and they feared the consequences. But fear was not enough. They needed to understand the depth of my pain, the weight of their actions. Good, let them feel the weight of my words, the simmering rage that threatened to consume me. Each word I wrote was a dagger, each sentence a blow. I wanted them to feel my pain, to understand the depth of my sorrow, the simmering rage that threatened to consume me. It was a fire that burned within me, a flame that refused to be extinguished. It gave me strength, it gave me purpose. It was the fuel that kept me going, the light that guided me through the darkness. The image of Manami's lifeless body, so small, so fragile, flashed before my eyes. It was a sight that would haunt me forever, a memory that was seared into my soul. Her small hand, once so full of life, now lay still and cold. It was a sight that no mother should ever have to see. The memory, a searing brand on my soul. It was a pain that words could not describe, a sorrow that was beyond comprehension. Each tear that fell was a testament to my love for her, a love that would never die. They called it an accident, a tragic mishap, but I knew better. I knew the truth. It was no accident, it was a deliberate act, a crime that had been carefully planned and executed. But I knew the truth. I had seen the signs, the clues that others had missed. I had pieced together the puzzle. And the picture it painted was one of horror and betrayal. My daughter, my innocent Manami, had been murdered. It was a truth that I could not escape, a reality that I had to face, and I would not rest until those responsible were brought to justice.
They thought they could hide their crime behind their youth, their innocence. They thought they could escape the consequences of their actions, but they were wrong. I would not let them get away with it, but I will expose them for the monsters they truly are. I will shine a light on their darkness, and I will make them pay for what they have done. They will know the true meaning of justice, and they will feel the full weight of my wrath.
The classroom, once a sanctuary of learning, now felt suffocating, the air thick with unspoken tension. My gaze settled on two students in particular, Shuya Nanahara and Naoki Shoda. They were the ones responsible, the architects of my daughter's demise.
Shuya, a brilliant mind wasted on cruelty.
He shifted uncomfortably in his seat, his eyes downcast. He knew what he had done. The guilt, I could see it etched on his face, but guilt was not enough. Not nearly enough.
And Naoki, a soul consumed by darkness, a danger to everyone around him.
Naoki, always the troubled one, met my gaze with a chilling indifference. He felt no remorse, only a twisted sense of pride in his actions. He was beyond redemption, a monster lurking beneath a veneer of normalcy.
Together, they orchestrated a plan so sinister, so depraved, that it defied comprehension.